that to me looks like a crack to the fitting, which is really unfortunate. So okay guys, so just before the weekend, Friday last week, I got the 9-part package, which is full of bits for my Porsche. So it was Steve who helped me out on this, very useful guy. So I'm going to unpack it now and check out what I've got. So just unpack the package. It's really hot because it's been in the car all day. It's amazing. It's like an iron. But those are the inner links for the steering rack and the boots and so on. And this is the refurbished steering rack. It all looks pretty good, but there's one thing that just caught my eye straight away. I don't know if you can see that, but that to me looks like a crack. So I need to find out what that is. Not happy with that. So I'm going to phone 9-part and ask them to explain it, because if there's a crack in the housing, uncool. But it looks very clean otherwise. But I'm going to just check over it and see what else I can see. There's the part number, TRW. I dare say it's exactly the same as the one that came off. Got all new pipes along here. They're all still straight, nothing bent. A little tab up there as well. Any more cracks or anything? I don't know. I'm going to check over it in more detail and let you know. So I spoke to 9-part about my concern about what seems to be a crack here, and they were pretty helpful. And what they suggested was, before I send it all the way back to the UK, is just to start filing that down a little bit, with sandpaper or metal file, just to see whether it's a crack or a deep scratch. Because actually, you can see here that seems to be a scratch, and that may well be related to that. And they say sometimes when they're removing them from the car, you know, they get scratched because they are used parts. So I'm going to rub that down and see if that turns into a crack or it's just a scratch. I'm hoping that it's just a scratch. Okay, so I've tidied that up there, cleaned it up and polished it. I used a couple of grades of sandpaper, and then wet and dry. And to be honest, I can't see anything there now. I mean, even a hairline crack I can't see. I don't know if I can get like a different angle on it, but it used to run. Where did it go? It ran sort of through there, and I can't see anything there now, so I'm pretty confident. Let me just try and get that to focus. Trying to get the light on it. I don't know if any of you can see anything, but I've held it in all different types of light and I can't see any crack or anything in there. So I think it was just a gouge or something from a tool, and that's a bit of a relief, because I really didn't fancy, oops, where's the focus? I really didn't fancy having to send that back, because I'm really pleased with it otherwise. It cost €250, with delivery on top of course, but €250 for a refurbished steering rack, original Porsche. So I'm pretty pleased with that, and the refurbishment, I don't know how far they go with the refurbishment, but it looks like they've got a new pin in there, so they presumably take this cap off and, I don't know, redo the seals in there. They've redone these pipes here. So, and I've got all of the rest of the parts, the inner links and the drop link arms. Are they called drop link arms? They're not, are they? The ball joints. I can't remember what they're called at the moment. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. So that's going to go on the car as soon as I've got it painted, and I've got the new brake lines in, because that obviously sits in here. But yeah, okay, that's the update. So I'm going to leave it today. I've done all the undercoat of the parts that I've cleaned. At least I've pretty much got to that back part there, I think. I did this sill here today. I did some parts under here as well. Oops, the light's not very good. And also up under there, and all of these parts here too. So they're all cleaned up and wet and dry sanded as well, dried out, and then cleaned. I cleaned them with brake clean just to make them all clean, and then undercoated them with etch primer, which the painter told me to do. And I'm getting quite close now to getting him down here to cover the entire underside of the car. So progress, despite being relatively slow, is definitely being made. Whoops. I did most of this at the end of last year, but you can see it sort of needs doing again now, because I shouldn't have done it in the winter. It's just starting to go again there, which is a bit frustrating because I've done all that work. A lot of this brown through here is the rust converter. Not that there's particularly any rust in there, but I just put some in there anyway. So I need to do the, oh goodness, this bloody phone, it's so crap. I just need to do the back side of the car now, the back part of the car from here backwards. So we're getting there. Okay, morning guys. So it's Sunday morning. It's a beautiful sunny day out there. And I've just popped up to the garage to do a little bit of work. And I'll be working on the Porsche. I don't want to be too loud today because of the people who live around here, but what I need to do is finish off the underside. So I've got maybe 3/4 of the underside of the car cleaned up, rubbed down any rust that I found, and covered it with etch primer. But so I'll see if I can do a bit of that today. But I just wanted to show you something with regards to the steering rack, because you know from previous videos I've had trouble with the steering rack and the high and low pressure lines which feed the power steering. I couldn't get them out of the old steering rack because somebody who had done some work on there before had not only damaged the housing but also glued the feed lines into the power steering rack, which is insane. God knows why they would have done that, because to glue them they would have had to have taken them out. The only reason I can imagine was cost, because that's the next thing. I thought at the time, well, okay, I'll just buy a new rack and buy a new set of power lines or feed lines, and I've managed to get a refurbished rack for £250, which is in excellent condition. But the lines are insanely expensive. I think from Porsche they're about £1,000 or €1,000. If you can get them, they're on back order, I believe. I haven't tried at OPC Dresden yet because I don't want to. But I've been looking around in the UK, obviously, because it's a UK right-hand drive car. So obviously the choice over here is incredibly limited, unless I go directly to Porsche. But what I mean is second-hand items. So I found a couple of offers in the UK, but they're still £450. So they're a huge amount of money. So the point is, I tried to save the old lines, because I can get the flexible hose made up over here and reclamped on. That's not the issue. It's the connections that go into the rack. So anybody attempting the same job, just be very aware that the power steering feed lines on the 996 are incredibly expensive and very difficult to get, either new or second-hand. So just be careful with them. But anyway, so I'll just turn the camera around. So what I'm talking about really are these end parts to the high and low pressure lines. So this is the high pressure, this is the low pressure, and this is the bracket which holds them on. Cheap, not a problem. But these are the things. So basically what I've done, either end is cut the rubber flexible hose off. These are about 7 feet long, these things, and they curve left, curve right, dog leg around, But yeah, so these are the parts. So what we did was, I'll blend in a photograph of it. We actually, and I say we because a colleague of mine helped me out at his garage, we cut the housing of the old steering rack to bits to try and get these out, because they just would not budge. And one of them, here you can see that this is the damage done by the person who worked on it previously, which you can live with really, because it's this part which is important. This is just a stopper to, you know, just to stop it going into the housing any deeper. It's not great, but if I can live with it, then for the sake of, you know, that much money, then I would. So this one we saved, needs a new O-ring, so that's all right. But this one, really unfortunately, when we were cutting into it, we cut very frustratingly. We thought we were being incredibly careful through the housing and just far too close. So we actually went into the fitting, which is really unfortunate. So. No point crying over spilt milk. It happens. It was a bit of a long shot trying to salvage these. So in the best case scenario, I can reuse this one, and I just have to buy this one new. So we'll just have to see if somebody will supply me this part. But if any of you guys watching happen to have these lines that they're willing to sell, or know of anybody, obviously I'm in Europe, I'm in Germany, please do let me know. It has to be a right-hand drive vehicle. But anyway, that's a little bit of a, you know, an update on that. As I say, under here, I showed you the end of last week. I've basically made it up to this section here. And while I've been going, you can see, you know, once you take the undercoat off, not the undercoat, the stone chip, if this would focus, keep having this problem with this camera. There are little dents along here, as you find along the way. And there's one here as well, and I can just straighten those out as I go, which is quite satisfying. But this stone chip, and this car it's not quite, but it's almost 20 years old. Where did I have an example of it? I've cleaned most of them up now. But you get little chips like this, which looks absolutely fine, and then you start scraping away, and this is all loose, this stone chip, and or this seam sealant in this case. And there's you know, the beginnings of corrosion underneath. So it might look all right from the surface, but once you start digging, you really do find stuff. And I've already done this once. It actually looks worse than it is because this brown stuff around here isn't rust at all. It's the rust converter that I put on. But saying that, there are places which I've done previously, like up here in the winter, which wasn't the best time to do it, and they've started to go again. So I've got to redo that, but it's not a problem. I sort of expected that. And up in the wheel arches, I'm gonna, as I say, I'm getting a professional painter in to come and seam seal all of those seams again, and put the stone chip on and the original factory color underneath. So yeah, that's how I'm getting on. Obviously things like this, these are the shifter cables, which are absolutely knackered. One's actually broken. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace these with the 997 version, along with the shifter, the gate, which is apparently a much better upgrade for the 996. They're not too expensive. You can get them from eBay with very low mileage on them for about £100. The lines are a couple of £100. So it's a worthwhile upgrade, because any of you driving a 996, unless the shifter is, or the shifter, I can't remember what it's called, the shifter gate or the gate is new, it's, you know, they get a bit stiff and a bit vague in their old age. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Good. Okay, well I'll give you a bit of an update later on, and let you know how I'm getting on. So one of the things that needs replacing, or another thing that needs replacing on the 911, is this rear right hand side handbrake or e-brake cable. I've got the other one already on the shelf, but what you can see, these fittings here, they're metal on metal and very tight, and they are rusted on there. So I've tried in the past to get them off to no avail, but I'm making progress now. So I've been tapping it with a hammer or banging it with a hammer, and I've actually got some movement there now, so I dare say that's enough now to pull it out. It also helps by removing all of these cables when I come to repaint the underside, because, you know, the less cables, the less obstacles to get round with the paint job. The other thing is, which is incredibly difficult to remove, and I haven't been able to remove it yet other than cut it off, is the high pressure line for the clutch. So this is a 15mm here, or there are two, one on either side of this fitting. I've got other fittings like this on the car, and I've been able to get those off, but these just won't undo. Whether some idiot has glued them in again, I don't know. But there are two connections, one here and one within the front, and I can't open either of them up. So yeah, I have to see. I've also used some heat on there, very light heat, because I don't want to melt anything. But nothing works at the moment. So yeah. But yeah, let's see how we can get this off. Okay, so just going inside the car, this is basically with the in the cubby box in the centre, with the liner removed. You can see the connections for the handbrake. So I've already disconnected the shaft there, which goes through to the handbrake, and you can see both cables here. So I want the one on the left-hand side, but to remove that, I need to remove this this cover here. So I'm going to do that now, and then pull that back through the tube. Okay, so I've got the clip and the bracket off. As soon as you remove that clip, it actually just all springs out. So I'll have to review this video to see how it all goes back together, but those are the two loose cables now. You can actually see just under there, that's where the shifter cables come into the car as well. So they all look brand new on the inside, obviously, but on the outside they're a bit manky. So, but I'll be replacing those later. Okay, so it's a bit fiddly, but it came out. Literally just pulls out the back, and you can see how long it is. And as I say, that'll be pretty simple, just to do that in reverse and put the new one in. But obviously, it needs to be completely painted underneath before that goes back in. So I just wanted to show you what I mean with regards to, the underseal is generally okay, but then you see sort of spots like this, which look solid, but then you start picking about a bit, and then there's a little weld like this which has started to corrode underneath the paint. So it's really getting to all those points and cleaning them out. Here as well, this is an excellent example, whereas that looked pretty solid. You just have to start scraping about, and then you can see the starts of corrosion under there. And the steel is galvanized, but it's incredibly thin, the steel on this car. I think the 997 was made virtually completely out of aluminium, but the 996 is very thin galvanized steel. And I dare say in the coming years, maybe 5 to 10 years, other owners are going to start seeing this sort of corrosion as well. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. So exposing it with a scraper, and then really getting rid of all the old seam sealant, and reapplying it.